بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وإذا اعترفت المعتدة بانقضاء عدتها ثم جاءت بالولد لأقل من 6 أشهر يثبت نسبه. When the woman in iddat acknowledges with the elapsing of her iddat, then she brought a child for less than 6 months, then his lineage will be established. لأنه ظهر كذبها بيقين فبطل الإقرار, because her lies has now become apparent for surety, so the confession becomes batil. In other words, she said now, my iddat is finished. But then within 6 months from that statement, she brings a child. So that means the child is the husband. She understand it. And she spoke lies saying her iddat is finished, right? When jad bi li sittati ashhurin lam yathbut. And if she brought the child for 6 months or more, right, then the lineage will be established. لأن لم نعلم ببطلان الإقرار لاحتمال الحدوث بعده, because we are not sure of the confession becoming batil due to the possibility of a new pregnancy after the confession. She could have gotten involved now after the iddat with somebody. You understand it? وهذا اللفظ بإطلاقه يتناول كل معتدة. And this word here, what its generality, will include every mu'tadda. In other words, this confession here, right, will include every mu'tadda, right? Or the word mu'tadda will include every mu'tadda. وإذا ولدت المعتدة ولدا لم يثبت نسبه عند أبي حنيفة إلا أن يشهد بولادتها رجلان أو رجل وامرأتان. And when the woman in iddah gives birth to a child, right, then the lineage of that child is not automatically established according to Imam Bonifa rahmatullah alayhi, unless two men testifies with her giving birth, or one man and two women. You understand? One man and two women testify that she gave birth. Or unless illa ayyakuna hunaka hablun zahirun, or there was a clear pregnancy there. You understand it? In other words, it was clear to everyone that she's. So this is a scenario where she just comes with a child now, and she said, "I gave birth now in iddat," and nobody knows anything about this. You understand it? Nobody knows anything about her being pregnant, and now suddenly she says, "I gave birth." So now Imam Boniface says you'll need at least two men. She must bring two men, or one man and two women, to say that it was indeed she did give birth, right? Or there is a clear pregnancy, or itirafum min qibali zawj, or there is acknowledgement from the side of the husband. In others, maybe nobody knew, but the husband acknowledged, no, I know she was pregnant, right? فَيَثْبُتُ النَّسَبُ مِنْ غَيْرِ شَهَادَةٍ. Then the lineage will be established without now testimony in these two cases, when there was everybody knew she was pregnant, right? Or the husband knew she was pregnant, right? Right. وقال أبو يوسف ومحمد رحمه الله يثبت في الجميع بشهادة امرأة واحدة. Sahibain says it will be established in all these cases with the testimony of one woman, that is the midwife. She says, no, your wife gave, I am saying witness that your wife gave birth, or your wife gave birth, then the lineage will be established to the father. لأن الفراش قائم بقيام العدة وهو ملزم للنسب, because the firash is still existing. In other words, the nikah is still existing with the iddat still happening, right? And that makes a binding lineage, right? So that makes binding the lineage already, because she's still in his iddat. So that, just as if she was in his nikah, you understand it, that would make binding the lineage. Likewise, if she's in his iddat, it should make binding the lineage, right? وَالْحَاجَةُ إِلَى تَعْيِينِ الْوَلَدِ أَنَّهُ مِنْهَا. So the need is now to only specify that this child is indeed from her, right? But فَيَتَعَيَّنُ بِشَهَادَتِهَا, and that will become specific. The child will become specific now when she bears testimony, because sometimes they can switch babies or they make mistakes. You understand it? So now they sahib and say you just need to specify that this child is indeed from her, right? Because the iddat itself means that the child is going to be his, Right. Kama fi hali qiyamin nikah, just as in the situation of the situation of nikah, situation of during the nikah. Wali Abi Hanifa rahimahullah anna al-iddata tanqadi bi iqrariha bi wad'i al-hamli. Right. Imam Bonifa rahmahullah's dalil is that the iddat has elapsed with her confessing of the deliverance of the pregnancy. So when she said, "I've given birth," the moment she or when she confessed, then she gave birth. Right. When she confessed, she gave birth. Uh, so, so the iddat is already finished by that time. Right. Because when does the iddat finish? When she gives birth. And after that she'll confess. So which means the iddat is finished. Wal munkadi laysa bi hujjatin. And that which elapsed, uh, right, is not a proof now. So in other words, she is now confessing when she's out of the iddat. You understand it? She is confessing when her iddat is finished. So she's no more in her iddat now. You understand it? So you can't use the word that she's still in her iddat. She's no more in the iddat. فَمَسَّتِ الْحَاجَةُ إِلَىٰ إِثْبَاتِ النَّسَبِ ابْتِدَاءً. So now there's a need to establish the nasab from scratch. It's like you're coming now with a new child and you're a strange woman and you're saying this child belongs to that man. You understand it? So now you need to bring proof for that, right? فَيُشْتَرَةُ كَمَالُ الْحُجَّةِ. So a complete proof is needed, and therefore he says 2 men or 1 man and 2 women, right? بخلاف ما إذا كان ظهر الحبل أو صدر الاعتراف من الزوج. Contrary to when the pregnancy was apparent or acknowledgement comes from the husband. لأن النسب ثابت قبل الولادة, right? Because the nasab is already now established before the birth. Before she gave birth, you already knew that this child belongs to this father. وَالتَّعَيُّنُ يَثْبُتُ بِشَهَادَتِهَا. Now, only specifying which child it is will be established with the midwife testifying. You got that? Right. فَإِنْ كَانَتْ مُعْتَدَّةً عَنْ وَفَاتٍ, right? فَصَدَّقَهَا الْوَرَثَةُ فِي الْوِلَادَةِ وَلَمْ يَشْهَدْ عَلَى الْوِلَادَةِ أَحَدٌ فَهُوَ ابْنُهُ في قولهم جميعا. Right. Then if she is a woman who's in iddat wafat, in other words, her husband passed away now, right? And then what happened after that? Before 2 years can elapse, right? She brings a child and she say, this child is my husband's child, right? Now the heirs, they say yes, they believe her that she gave birth to the child. And she says now, I gave birth to a child and it's my husband's child. And the heir says, yes, you did give birth to a child, and therefore, uh, and nobody testified on the birth. So nobody actually testified. Yeah, in this case, they don't even need anyone to testify on the birth because the heirs already acknowledge that this child belongs to their father. You understand it? Right. فَهُوَ ابْنُهُ. So then this child will be his son, or if it's a daughter, it will be his daughter. فِي قَوْلِهِمْ جَمِيعًا. In all of their qawl, in others, Imam Sab and Saibin. وَهَذَا فِي حَقِّ الْإِرْثِ ظَاهِرٌ. And thus in the right of inheritance is quite apparent. It's quite clear. If you're going to say that this, once they acknowledge that this is our brother, then that is clear because they already saying that, look, okay, he must share with us in the inheritance, right? لِأَنَّهُ خَالِصُ حَقِّهِمْ. Because the inheritance is their sole right. فَيُقْبَلُ فِيهِ تَصْدِيقُهُم. So their certifying will be accepted in it. In others, so they'll be accepted now because they are acknowledging it's our brother. In others, they saying that he must share with us in the inheritance. أَمَّا فِي حَقِّ النَّسَبِ هَلْ يَثْبُتُ فِي حَقِّ غَيْرِهِمْ. Okay, leave it till there. أما في حق النسب.